I'm in charge as a junior national head coach for Italian Gymnastics Federation, and so this evening I'll try to talk with you about planification and different issues about the plan for a year or maybe for a competition preparation and something like that. So don't hesitate if you want to know more thing, or if you have any question to interrupt me, it's not a problem. Otherwise, at the end of the lecture, we will have a question and answer moment, so as you prefer. Okay, so let's have a look to the agenda for this evening. We will talk about planning, so a general focus on planning, and then a spot on training load parameter, then periods and year plan, and then competition preparation. So these are six questions that help me to plan. First question is, what do I want to plan? We can focus on different themes for planning. It could be physical preparation development, or technical development, or maybe a preparation for a competition, or some planification or project to try to solve some problem about our work in the gym. Second question is, where am I? So the study of the starting situation. We need to concentrate to the strong points of the situation and also to the gap. The third question is, where I'm moving. So it's like an analysis of the working context. So where we are, with which gymnasts we are working to, what we can do in our work situation. And also the external context, so maybe other countries' progression, or the level of international gymnastics context. And the fourth question is about, where do I want to go? And so it's goal setting, so we have to decide which are the goals we want to achieve with our planification. And so, putting all together these preliminary matters, we have to decide how do we have to move. So the principal theme of our the acting process of our plan setting. And of course, it's plan setting, but also monitoring and updating if necessary. And the last question is about verification of our work. So, did my planning works? And so we have to reflect about the results of our planning and verify if all the goals we have set are achieved or not. What planning means for me? For me, to plan means to define the best path to achieve some defined goal, considering the start situation, the working context, and the data that cannot be changed most of the time that the goal dictates. And a little bit spot on my coaching philosophy. For me, a coach has to understand athletes' problems and try to understand the real reason behind this problem, and of course, to find a solution. It's too easy for us to find some not real reasons. It's like maybe the problem is of the gymnast, or maybe the problem is about the parents or the gym that is not working. There are some situation that we cannot change, so we have to understand them and try to find a solution to move on this kind of problem. And one of my quote is success to the gymnasts and failures to the coaches that want to focus that of course if we can reach some success with our gymnasts we have to be happy, but we can deliver the success to them, and if they fail we cannot give the guilt to the gymnasts, but we have to do some thinking and reflection of our work and maybe try to do better the next time. And so planning is one of the coach's instruments to solve the problems. A good planning must be determined both from a temporal point of view, so we can have to declinate the plan with long, medium and short term, and also from a point of view of the application field that could be physical, technical or maybe competitive. And each of these situations are strictly correlated, and the relationships is always very strong, are not independent situation. Okay, and planning is always a circular process. It's not a static situation, but it's a dynamic. Because the planning is often disregarded and consequently requires a constant comparison with the real situation and of course a constant update. And so we can set a plan, then we have to monitor the situation and of course analyze the situation. Maybe it can happen that a gymnast can not stay at the same step of the planification because he get sick or some injuries or some other problem. So we have to always monitor the situation, analyze it, and of course update our plan. Now I will try to, maybe it's more interesting, that's theoretical definition, to explain you an example. And for example, it's planification after the European Junior Championship in Munich 2022. And to give an answer to the first questions, I say, what do I want to plan? I want to plan a 2-year project planning for the European Championship in Rimini 2024. So it's like a 2-year preparation for the next European Championship for junior gymnastics. Where am I? And the answer. We can answer to this question with an analysis of the Munich 2022 results and performance, with an analysis of the previous edition of Junior European Championship for statistics to try to find out how the gymnastic context can move by the years, and of course the content of the routines of the gymnasts in the squad. And for example, when we analyze the results, we have to report, maybe I always use Excel because it's a good instrument, all the result, and try to understand not only the final score of the team, but some more details. So for example, I always have a look to the total D score of the team and the execution score of the team and natural deduction and the final score in total, and also analyzing the average. So the average D score for each country, the total, the average deduction per gymnast of each country, and the final score. And this, for example, was in Munich 2022. We had Italy with the best D score, average D score from the first 3 countries on the podium, and with the second average deduction. And for example, Great Britain was not so strong on difficulties, but they had achieved a very good execution quality. And so the balance of that European Championship for Italy was 1 gold medal with the team and 5 individual apparatus finals and 1 gold medal at pommel horse and 1 bronze medal at floor exercise. And so this was our start situation. Then we can have a deeply look on the results, and so maybe it's a little bit small, but it's just to give you an example of what I regularly do. And so I try to study all the detailed results apparatus by apparatus, considering all the 4 gymnasts that compete in that apparatus for the team and also the 3 top gymnasts that enter in the team score. And so in this way, it's possible to understand where there are the strong points of our team, our gymnasts, and which are the gap. And as I said, another important thing is to have some statistics of that kind of competition. For example, in this slide, you can see all the European Championship from Sofia 2014 to Munich 2022, and all the parameters that I said before. Of course, we have to interpret these results because, for example, until Bern 2016 was one code of point, and then the code of point changed after Rio Olympic. So we have to interpret this kind of result. And for each apparatus, I usually try to understand which gymnast and score are on the podium, and also the last score that is useful for qualification. Here you can see an example for floor exercise. I usually do this kind of statistics for all the apparatus, and you can see the first, the second, the third, and the last. The score of the last gymnast qualified for the final. So also in this case, I try to focus on the score, on the E-score, and of course on the final score. Going on with the other questions, where am I moving? So an analysis of the context, of the working context, and so the composition of the national squad. So all the gymnasts that are available to be involved in the project for the, in this case, Rimini European Championship, and the final financial resources, because you know, it's important for my job, but I think also for a coach in a club it's important to understand how many financial resources he can count on, and maybe the training camp available, the international competition for preparation for the main event, and also in